After you turn 60, have you ever asked yourself, who's really there for me now? When we're younger, the answer feels simple. Family, close friends, people who've been part of our lives for years. But as time goes on, things begin to shift. Loved ones get busy. Priorities change. Some friends move away, and others slowly drift out of reach. One day, you might realize that the support system you've always counted on isn't quite as steady as it once was. This video isn't about blaming anyone. It's about recognizing the changes that naturally come with age and finding strength in new places. Today, we'll explore 6 powerful pillars of support that often turn out to be more reliable than even family. These are the foundations that can keep you steady, secure, and independent, especially when life gets unpredictable. And once you understand how to build them into your daily life, you'll feel more confident, more prepared, and never truly alone. So stay with us, because these 6 pillars may shift the way you think about support after 60, and they just might become your greatest source of strength. Let's begin. Pillar 1. Your financial stability. One of the most dependable forms of support you'll ever have isn't a person. It's your financial independence. Money doesn't guarantee happiness, but it gives you freedom, safety, and peace of mind. And as we grow older, we start to understand just how valuable that is. Depending on family for financial help isn't a plan. It's a gamble. Your kids may love you dearly, but they also have their own responsibilities, their own mortgages, their own children. Even with the best intentions, they may not be able to help when you need it most. Think about Richard, a 72-year-old man who always believed his children would step in if times got tough. He had supported them through school, helped with down payments, and was always a phone call away. But when unexpected medical bills drained his savings, he found out that his kids were barely keeping up with their own expenses. Not because they didn't care, but because life is complicated. That's why financial stability matters more than ever as you age. It's not about having a fortune. It's about being prepared. Having a plan in place for emergencies. Having enough saved up so you can live comfortably. Understanding how to manage your money so you're not caught off guard. Ask yourself, do I have an emergency fund I can count on? Is my retirement income steady? Have I reduced the risks that could leave me financially exposed? If not, this is the moment to take control. Start with small, practical steps. Create a simple budget, stay out of unnecessary debt, and focus on financial choices that give you lasting peace. Because no matter what changes around you, your financial stability can be the quiet, steady pillar that holds you up, day after day, year after year. Pillar 2. Your physical health. There's one thing in life that no amount of love, support, or money can replace: your health. After 60, your body becomes either your greatest ally or your biggest challenge. You could have all the financial security in the world, but if your health begins to fail, your freedom fades right along with it. The truth is, your family may care deeply about you, but they can't eat healthy for you. They can't take your daily walk or manage your sleep, and they certainly can't stop time. That's your responsibility. Too often, people assume that when their health begins to slip, someone will be there to help. But even those who love you the most have their own lives, full of responsibilities. They may not have the time, energy, or strength to become your caregiver, and depending entirely on others for your well-being, that can leave you feeling helpless. That's why investing in your health, starting now, is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. You don't need to run marathons or follow extreme diets, but you do need to make small, consistent efforts to stay active and aware of your body. Take Carl, for example. At 68, he had been athletic in his youth, but after retiring, he let his routines go. He figured he'd get back to it someday. But someday never came. Slowly, he lost energy, strength, and confidence. His kids visited when they could, but they couldn't be there every day. That's when he realized if he wanted to keep his independence, he had to take control of his health. Today, not later. So ask yourself, am I moving enough each day? Am I eating food that supports my energy and strength? Am I taking my doctor's advice seriously or brushing it off? Even something as simple as stretching in the morning, cutting back on sugar, or drinking more water can have a huge impact over time, because in the long run, your strongest support isn't your kids, your neighbors, or even your doctor. It's your own body. The more you take care of it now, the more it will take care of you later. Pillar 3. Your social circle. One of the most common mistakes people make as they age is letting their social circle shrink. It doesn't always happen all at once. Sometimes friends move away. People pass on. Life just gets quieter. And before you know it, the circle of people you talk to every week is smaller than you ever expected. But here's the truth. Loneliness after 60 isn't just a feeling. It's a risk factor. It affects your mental sharpness, your mood, even your physical health. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can increase the risk of heart disease, depression, and even shorten your lifespan. You might assume your family will always be there to keep you company. And yes, they care about you deeply. But your children have their own lives, careers, spouses, children, and schedules that are often overwhelming. As much as they love you, they can't be your only source of companionship. That's why one of the most important pillars of support is your social circle. Friends, neighbors, community members, even people you meet through hobbies or interest groups. These relationships aren't just nice to have, they're essential. Take Margaret, for example. She's 73 now, and for years she leaned on her 2 sons for connection. They were loving, attentive, and tried their best. But life moved fast. Phone calls became shorter, visits less frequent, and Margaret started to feel the weight of silence. So she decided to do something different. She joined a community group, reached out to old friends, picked up a hobby she'd always wanted to try. Before long, her days were filled with conversations, laughter, and new memories. She didn't stop loving her family, but she stopped waiting on them to feel connected. Building a social life after 60 isn't about popularity. It's about purpose. It's about surrounding yourself with people who bring light into your day. Maybe it's a neighbor who checks in. Maybe it's a walking group, a gardening club, or just someone you meet for coffee once a week. So ask yourself, who brings energy into my life right now? Who can I call just to talk? If your answer feels too short, it might be time to expand your circle. And the good news? It's never too late to start. Because in the long run, a strong social network gives you more than just companionship. It gives you emotional strength. It reminds you that you matter. And it keeps your days full of connection, even as the years go by. Pillar 4. Your sense of purpose. One of the most overlooked sources of support as you age isn't a person. It's your sense of purpose. After 60, life changes in ways that few people talk about. The roles that once defined you, being a parent, a worker, a caregiver, begin to shift or fade. Retirement settles in. The kids become independent. And suddenly, the pace of life slows down. And when that happens, it's easy to feel like you're just drifting, like the world is moving on without you. But here's something that doesn't change with age: your need for purpose. Because no matter how much your family loves you, they can't give it to you. That sense of meaning, that reason to get up in the morning, has to come from within. Purpose keeps your mind sharp. It lifts your spirit. It gives your days direction. And most importantly, it reminds you that your life still matters in a big way. Take George, for example. A retired engineer, 70 years old. When he first stopped working, he looked forward to the rest. But after a few months, that excitement faded. The days started to blend together. He felt restless, a little lost. His kids visited now and then, but they were busy with their own lives. He missed feeling needed. So he made a choice. He started volunteering at a local school, teaching young kids how to build things with their hands. And something shifted. He had a reason to wake up again, a sense of contribution. He wasn't just passing time. He was building something meaningful. Your purpose doesn't have to come from a job title or a paycheck. It could be anything that gives you joy and keeps you engaged. Mentoring someone younger, tending a garden, exploring your faith, writing, painting, or even just learning something new. What matters is that you feel alive doing it. And if lately you've felt like your best days are behind you, I want to gently challenge that thought. Your purpose doesn't retire when you do. It evolves. And the more you stay connected to it, the less you'll feel dependent on others to feel fulfilled. Because at the end of the day, one of the strongest pillars of support isn't someone walking beside you. It's that quiet fire inside you, reminding you that your story isn't finished yet. If this message resonates with you, please comment number 4 below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications. We're building a space for people just like you, where experience is respected, and every voice still matters. Let's keep going.
Pillar 5. Your emotional resilience. Life doesn't stop testing you just because you're older. After 60, the challenges change, but they don't disappear. Friendships fade. Health problems show up. Loved ones pass away. And some days, the silence around you can feel louder than ever. In moments like these, it's easy to wish someone would step in and carry the weight for you. But here's the truth. The most reliable source of emotional strength is not your children, your siblings, or your friends. It's you. Yes, support from others is meaningful, but people have their own lives, their own problems, and sometimes they just aren't able to be there in the way you hoped. That's why building emotional resilience matters so much. Because it means learning to find strength inside yourself, even when life feels heavy. Think about Helen, a 75-year-old woman who lost her husband after 40 years of marriage. At first, she leaned on her children for comfort. They loved her deeply, but between their jobs, families, and daily stresses, they couldn't always be there the way she needed. So Helen made a choice. She joined a local grief group. She began journaling. Every morning, she wrote down 3 things she was still grateful for, even on her hardest days. And slowly, she began to heal. Not because someone else pulled her out of sadness, but because she built the strength to rise on her own. That's what emotional resilience looks like. It doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending you're fine. It means feeling every emotion fully, then choosing to move forward anyway. It means having healthy outlets. Maybe it's talking to someone, maybe it's prayer or meditation. Maybe it's simply taking a walk to clear your mind. And here's something worth remembering. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, day by day, choice by choice. So ask yourself gently, when things get hard, do I crumble? Or do I take a breath and keep going? Because at the end of the day, the one person who will walk with you through every chapter of life is you. The stronger you are inside, the less you'll need others to keep you standing. If you found this message helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Comment number 5 below to let me know you're still here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so and turn on the bell. We're building a thoughtful community here, where wisdom is shared and every life still has deep value. Let's continue. Pillar 6. Your ability to adapt. One thing becomes clearer with age. Life never stays the same. People change, routines shift. What once felt steady may suddenly feel uncertain, and that can be hard. But here's what makes the biggest difference after 60. It's not how much you hold onto the past, it's how willing you are to grow with the present. The people who struggle most as they get older are often those who resist change. They cling to routines, places, or relationships that no longer serve them. But the people who keep thriving are those who stay open, who adjust, explore, and remain curious, even when life throws them something unexpected. Take Frank, a 78-year-old man who used to meet his friends for coffee every week. One by one, those friends moved away or passed on. And for a while, Frank felt lost. The table felt too empty, the mornings too quiet. But instead of closing off, he made a decision. He learned to use video calls to chat with his grandchildren. He joined an online history group, and to his surprise, he made new friends. People he never would have met if he hadn't been willing to try something different. That's what adaptability looks like. It's not just accepting change, it's growing with it. And the truth is, you're never too old to learn, to connect, or to start fresh. Being set in your ways might feel safe, but it can also limit your joy. Life keeps moving, and the more you move with it, the more you'll find peace, opportunity, and even a sense of adventure. Because the people who do well later in life aren't always the ones with perfect health or a big support system. They're the ones who stay flexible, who know that every chapter of life has something new to offer if you're willing to turn the page. So if you've been feeling stuck or unsure about the future, remember this. Your ability to adapt is one of your greatest strengths. It allows you to live with confidence, not fear, with openness, not regret. And if you've made it this far in the video, type 6 in the comments below to let me know you're still with me. If you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so and turn on the bell. We're building something meaningful here, a space for growth, for learning, and for supporting each other through every stage of life. Let's keep going, together.
Final thoughts. Reaching your 60s and beyond brings a mix of wisdom and new challenges. And while family will always hold a special place in your heart, the truth is, your strongest support doesn't come from others. It comes from the foundation you build for yourself. Your financial stability means you can live with dignity, without depending on anyone. Your physical health gives you the freedom to move, to enjoy, and to live independently. Your social circle keeps you connected, reminding you that you're never truly alone. Your sense of purpose brings direction to your days, no matter your age. Your emotional resilience helps you navigate pain and loss with strength and grace, and your ability to adapt makes sure you keep growing, even when life shifts unexpectedly.
If you have these 6 pillars in place, you won't feel like you're just waiting for someone to show up and fix things. You'll know you've already built the kind of life that can weather any storm. Because real strength isn't about who shows up for you. It's about being ready, inside and out, to stand strong, whatever comes. Thanks for spending your time with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned or one way you plan to use this in your own life. Reading your thoughts means a lot to us and helps guide future videos too. If you found this helpful, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep making content that informs, uplifts, and inspires. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.